Right, apparently we're alive. Let's just have a quick look just to make sure everything's all up and running. Yeah, everything seems all right. Right, okay. Oh, yeah, nice. Get that off. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're doing okay. I'm the Just A Leeds United Thing, and I just like to bring out Leeds United content on a daily basis, whether that's transfer news, any positive news, incomings, outgoings, and I'll always try to bring out as much content as I personally can on a daily basis as well. So if you are new around here, you've never seen my face before, make sure you like the video. The more likes we get onto it, the more which opportunity you'll be able to win this lovely Leeds United top. And it's beautiful. It's so comfy, and it's with the embroidered inside the shirt. It's on a different level. But as you can see, we're joined with a guest today, the first subscriber, the first person on the channel, and we're going to test out the waters on this one just to see how it goes. And as well, obviously on the Tuesday, we're going to be bringing out the subscriber special or subscriber takeover, where you guys come onto the channel, you can promote your YouTube, you can promote your social medias, and I guess we'll just be able to just have a little chin wag, and we'll just go from there. So, hi Josh, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Are you excited for the season to start?
I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing. You know, 2 days away now, and
it's mental, isn't it? I mean, with how quick everything just comes around. I mean, compared to the Premier League, that seems to have taken forever to come around. But for the Championship, I know it's 46 games. Or even if we continue in the cups, I mean, we play Shrewsbury. Is it the first or second round of the Carabao,
yeah,
whatever the word is, cup? So we could end up being in a 50, 60 game season if we was to progress further and further ahead in the cup. So, what's your thoughts about Sunday? Are you excited? Do you reckon Leeds United will get all 3 points? Or
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it'll be just a walk in park, to be honest. I mean, they're coming away on first game of season. You know, I think with a full hour at Ellen Road, I don't think they'll win.
no,
Definitely not. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, from last season, I mean, I think they finished 21st, didn't they, last year? I mean, they did bring in, because I written it actually down, but for some reason, with the transfer embargo, they still managed to bring in 6 players, and they brought in Josh Bowler from Forest, they bought Iko Ugbu on loan, Carlon Grant, which I think is a really top signing, he's on loan, Mitete from Reading, Aaron Ramsey from Nice, which to me, I think that's a top quality signing. And then Gutos from Sivasspor, I think, and all these transfers were either loan or free transfers. So I don't know how like the transfer embargo works. Whether that means they're not allowed to bring in players like on a fee, or if they're allowed to continue bringing in free transfers. I think it's a little bit like Everton, isn't it? Really?
Well, yeah,
so,
I think. I mean, Aaron Ramsey. I mean, that is a top signing, to be honest. I rate that. Experienced, you know. I think.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you: is there any players that they brought in? If you would be worried, because I would agree. I think Aaron Ramsey, with the quality he showed when he was at Arsenal, then he went to Rangers and then Juventus, and coming down into the Championship, it's another level. I think with the amount of like depth Cardiff have seemed to have brought in, I think this year they could have a decent year. Yeah, they finished 21st with 49 points. But as Leeds United, we battered them 5-2, didn't we, in the FA Cup?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, besides Aaron Ramsey and Carlon Grant, I mean, where do you look? I mean, I think our squad depth, to be honest, on Sunday it'll show, especially forward. Yeah, I think it'll be high scoring as well. I really don't think he'll find it easy.
What score do you reckon it'll be?
I'm gonna go 3-0. I think 3-0.
Yeah, what to Leeds?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stick by what I said, because I've said that we're going to win 2-1. I do think. I mean, we've seen the pre-season, because I don't know if you managed to watch any of the games or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
I kind of feel a little bit more confident when it comes to the defending area, because obviously previously we're just continuously leaking in goals. But even against Nottingham Forest, we look sound at the back. Against Hearts, fair enough, Hearts are not really amazing, but it's still another clean sheet, isn't it?
Yeah, so, I mean, well, I think we did look quite solid, to be honest. I think with Ethan Ampadu as well. I mean, he was just brilliant. He was
Yeah,
brilliant against Forest. I think he will stand out as well. Definitely.
yeah. Do you reckon he'll get player of the season this year?
Ooh, I mean, if Sinister and Gnonto stay, I think probably not. No, but I think he will be solid.
I think if we manage to keep hold of Adams and we can have like Ampadu. I mean, we've got quite a lot of decent kids. We've got Archie Gray, haven't we? We've got what's he called, JB or whatever. These two players,
Yeah.
I feel like are going to step up quite well in the championship this year, especially Archie Gray. He's coming on quite well, isn't he? I mean, he's getting taller, he's getting wider, his technical ability is getting a lot better, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he's integrated into Leeds United. So if we do keep hold of Ampadu, Tyler Adams, with the likes of Ampadu, I think we're going to batter a lot of teams in the midfield. But no, I think it's going to be an exciting season. I mean, Bamford's out injured, Rutter's now out injured, and then obviously there's reports that Matheus Joseph is now injured. So who do you think we would go out and play up front? Would we play a false nine and put Gnonto in there? Do we play Sonny Perkins? Do we give him a chance, or do we go out and give Joe Gelhardt a chance?
I mean, it's interesting. I think where we thrive is forwards. So I mean, you got Dan James, Jack Harrison, who, depending on whether he starts or not, Sinistera. I mean, I'd love to see Sonny Perkins try and step up a little bit. Yeah, it'd be brilliant if he did.
Yeah, I mean, when he first joined, where did we sign him from? Was it West Ham?
God, I don't know. Probably have to check that.
Yeah, I'm sure it was West Ham because I know we got Sam Greenwood from Everton. Matheus Joseph, was it? It was like Real Sociedad or some Spanish team. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. But anyway, let's get in some of your comments. Hi mate, how you doing? It'd be nice to get you on the channel one day as well. Hi Jason, hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm excited too. Guys, keep your comments in below. Let's see what your predictions are. Leeds United going to win. Do you reckon we'll get all 3 points? I reckon it's going to be a 2-1 win to Leeds United on Sunday. I love that you're bringing in subscribers on the channel. What a great idea. And thank you. Yeah, I mean, I just thought with the whole idea of setting up this channel anyways, it was more to, in a sense, connect with the Leeds United community. It wasn't just to make money myself or just to get big on social media. Is more so the fact that I wanted to communicate with people. I wanted to connect to more Leeds United fans, and I guess just create a forum where you guys come on, give your opinion, whether you agree, whether you disagree. It's all about opinions, and football's always subjective, you know. So it doesn't matter whether I have 100 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. You want to promote yourself, you want to come on the channel, then I'll always make time for everybody who's supporting and in a sense giving up their time to support the channel. So Jamie Miller says, be happy with Adams to Villa for 25 mil and we get a Hamer, Camera and Perlo. Do you mean Perot?
Yeah, probably Perot. I'd imagine.
Drop Meslier, McDowell number 1 and Gnonto to Hammers for 25 mil too. I mean, from listening to the podcast, the press conference today, it's looking more and more likely that Meslier is going to be starting against Cardiff on Sunday. And I've always said that even before Darlow came in. I don't know about you, Josh, but I've always thought that even though Darlow was supposed to be replacing Meslier as number 1, I personally thought he was going to replace Joe Robles, and then Meslier is going to keep his spot. So, what do you actually think about the situation with Carl Darlow and Meslier? Who would you prefer playing up front in goal? Sorry.
I mean, well, it's teetering with a keeper that shows good potential and then someone probably more experienced. I mean, it's so up for debate. Personally, I don't know, because I feel Meslier needs to be dropped for a little bit, unless he shows good signs in these first few games. Then maybe Carl Darlow comes in, but it's really up for debate, honestly. But I do think Meslier will still start. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great that there is competition there. Nice prediction, Frankie. 5-2. But I think it's great. I think it's great that there's competition there for Meslier because I think that's what he needs. Because, in my opinion, I don't know about you, I think Darlow's a top quality signing, especially for the Championship with his experience at Newcastle, Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. He has played a couple of times in the Champions League, as well as going on loan to Hull City and picking up player of the month and ranked one of the best goalkeepers within 6 months of playing. So for £400,000, which I don't understand how Leeds United managed to do that,
Brilliant.
it's an absolute steal, absolute steal. So I think it's great that he's got the ability to, in a sense, push Meslier onto the next level. Whether he does or not, I don't know. But I think the Championship will do Meslier the world of good because it's a lower division. Yes, there's teams in there who's going to be competitive, don't get me wrong. But it's nothing like the Premier League, is it really?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the skill gap is massive. You go from one of the worst teams in the Premier League, to probably one of the best in Championship, and the quality drop off is massive. But Meslier showed good signs. He really did. But then just too many mistakes end of season, and which were a little bit disappointing. But he's still a young lad, and I think he's gonna absolutely fly this season.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the defense didn't help, did it? Really? I mean, we can all see because there's a lot of fans. We're very hostile as a fan base, aren't we? But we're very passionate at the same time. But we can't simply just blame Meslier for conceding all the goals we have, because if you think about it, we had Championship players still in the Premier League. Yeah, we brought in Voba, we brought in Junior Firpo, but it's not like they're going to come in to solidify the defence and keep us clean sheets. I mean, there was promising signs of that when like Robin Kopp came in, Diego Llorente came in the first season under Bielsa. But other than that, there was no signs of improvement, was there? Nope. Are you there? Can you hear me? Oh no, you're muted. Hang on.
Hello? I have no idea why these aren't working.
Oh dear, I think we're having some technical quality here.
I don't know if you can hear me now, hopefully.
Right, are we back? I can just hear you. Have you
There we go.
There we go.
That's probably better.
Nah, it's all right, don't worry. No, we was just going on about the standard of the Premier League and the defence, and I guess the time under Bielsa. I think with the lack of investment at the back, we was always going to be in for some sort of disaster when it comes to leaking in goals, weren't we?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes in that season, you just. I think everyone needed improving. I thought Meslier at points probably. I mean, wrong player at wrong club. Sometimes, I mean, you have to feel for him a little bit. A player that shows really good potential, surrounded by Championship players. I don't think it's. I mean, it's not fair, but I think Meslier kind of came back down to earth for a little bit. Showed where he was in terms of like where he was leaky in his attributes.
Yeah, I mean, when Xavi Gracia came in, I mean, I'll get to your point in a second, Jamie. But when Xavi Gracia came in, I thought there was so many positives, but for some reason it just went to crap. Because I mean, when Junior Firpo came in, this is obviously when it leads to this comment here. He was ranked at such a great fullback, and that's why I think Marcelo Bielsa liked him, because of how he was at Real Betis, and then he went to Barcelona, and then obviously he came over to here. But then for some reason it just didn't work out, and this is why I'm going to comment on here about Sam Byram. It's like, to me, I think Sam Byram would be decent because first of all, he's free. He's a free agent. Second of all, he's played under Daniel Farke before, so he knows the system. He knows the system very well, and I don't know about you, but to me, it doesn't matter whether he's right-footed as a left back. I personally think if he can do a job at left back, it doesn't matter what foot he is. He looked okay in pre-season. So, what's your thoughts on Sam Byron? Like, would you sign him up, or would you just not bother with him?
I mean, I've read reports where they've said he's been pretty good actually in pre-season and in training in general. Which, I mean, if that turns out to be true, then I just think give him a go. You know, like you said, he's played before with I forget his name now.
Daniel Farke.
Of course, yeah, Daniel Farke. He's free, and just give him a go. Why not? I mean, even if it turns out bad, which it might, there's no harm done really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've always when the news came about Sam Byram and this whole like trial thing, I was having like a debate with quite a few content creators and a few people on Instagram saying that I personally think it doesn't matter whether he's on trial or not, or training or whatever. I still think Leeds United are going to go out there and sign him. And they was coming back to me and saying, "Oh well, it's not going to happen. It's just false news. He's just looking for training to be able to go to another club." But I stood by my opinion, and it's looking more and more likely that it's going to be a possibility, you know. And I don't see anything wrong with Sam Byron because is Helder. Yeah, he had a decent season at Rotherham, but is he going to step up and play and take that responsibility of being the number one left back at Leeds United? I don't know. Whereas like Sam Byram, I think he would do a very decent job. I think with the system, from everything that I've seen so far pre-season, it looks like he's going to be more of an inverted fullback. I could be wrong. He may be just testing things, but that's just everything that I see. And then Luke Ayling bombs up down the wing to provide that extra bit of width. So, what's your opinion about Daniel Farke so far? Like, are you impressed with what you've seen? Because so far, from everything that we've seen, it's comparing, all the news articles and the media are comparing him to Marcelo Bielsa. So, what's your opinion about him?
I mean, I think it's a great appointment. He's won 2 championships. I think I think he will really do well this season. I think the way he manages the players is really good. He's really positive in the way he goes about things, which hopefully he'll kind of brush off on the players, which will improve their game. But yeah, I really like him. It's a great signing, manager.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems to be such a calm presence. Like even when listening to him in his press conference and post-match reactions, post-match reactions and all this type of stuff, it just seems to be so calm. But when you look at him, I personally don't think he looks aggressive. But I bet when he's in that dressing room, I bet he's so aggressive. And if the players do wrong, I reckon he'll just bollock them. And I think that's how we need a guy, because I don't know if you saw, but there was an article when the Parag Maraf wanted to see all the players and this and that, and he came out and pretty much said, it's like, yeah, but on my time, you know. And I like that. I like that. I like a little bit of arrogance. I like it how he's taking control of everything and making the chairmans or the fans know that, okay, well, he's not going to take any crap from anybody. He's going to make everything how he wants it, and he wants to be involved in a lot of things. And I just don't like the way Jesse Marsh did it. I just thought he just like talked too much and just was no action. I thought Javi Gracia was just too soft. Scabala, it just seemed like the team just didn't really seem to have any respect for him. And obviously, I mean, Big Sam, there was just no chance of him even making an impact at the club, was there? So I'm as of you said, I'm really excited to see how the season goes. But let's get into some of your comments as well. Luna Lilo obviously had brought up in a minute saying, "You're doing great, Josh. Nice to see subs on the channel instead of other accounts looking for clout by having other channels all the time." And this is what I mean. It's like, of course, we want to get other channels onto the channel because obviously it helps grow the audience and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like I say, so I'll always bring out content and I'll always pay back to the community. So Mark says, I'm pleased that Meslier is in goal. I think with a better defence in front of him and a manager that believes in him, he will be great. Saying that he needs a few clean sheets, and yeah, this is what we were saying earlier, Mark. I think the Championship's going to do him good because obviously it's not as difficult as the Premier League. There isn't like Erling Haaland and a few. I can't remember any big names in the Premier League, but the likes of Coventry, Middlesbrough, Leicester, Southampton, yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but I don't think it's going to be as hard as the Premier League. And I think, like I said, Caldalo is going to bring a lot of good presence to the team. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the news of Willie Gnonto, and he's pretty much come out and said that he doesn't want a move to Everton. And what's your opinion? I mean, it's starting to do my head in now because 1 minute he's joining Everton, next minute he wants to stay, or next minute Everton are coming back in for him. Like, what's your opinion? Because to me, it's starting to do my head in a little bit.
Yeah, it's getting a bit like tedious now. I think he either comes forward fully by himself and says, "Yeah, I want to stay," because as soon as he says, or some media sources says he's going to stay, and we all get overconfident, then next day he's having transfer rumours with another Premier League club. I think, honestly, as more as we go towards the start of the Championship, I think he is more likely to stay. So hopefully he will.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, Football Insider, which they're not really reliable. I've got a quote here. Well, not a quote, but said that Everton came in with a £20 million bid, and apparently it was rejected. But that wasn't the case. It was 13 to 15 million, and that was rejected. And then, according to his agent, Gnonto doesn't see Everton as an exciting prospect or a project to be at. And to me, it makes sense because, yes, they're going for targets. Like apparently they're linked with Harry Maguire now, which to me I don't understand how that makes any sense because apparently Man United want 40 million for him. So it's like if they can't afford to buy Willie Gnonto for like 20-30 million pounds, that like the 49ers wanted for him, I can't see him going for Harry Maguire. But with this whole situation with Gnonto, I just it's starting to do me in because if he wants out from the club, I don't want players who think they're bigger than the club or want out from the club to be starting. Of course, he's probably going to be starting against Cardiff. I think he's going to be starting against Cardiff. But if he's wanting away from the club and he's going to be unsettled at the club, does he deserve a start or not?
I mean, it's so like up for debate. I mean, on one hand, you have this really exciting, really great footballer, but then you also want players that are actually passionate, that want to stay, that want to fight for it, that want to get promoted. So it's so opinionated.
Yeah, I mean it's the same with Tyler Adams right now. I mean, there's a lot of news saying that he wants away from the club, but I don't think that's true because there was a podcast maybe about 3 weeks ago, and he was saying something about that he wanted to show some loyalty to the American fans, and if you wanted to like read in between the lines, that indicates to me that he wants to stay, even if it's just for one more season. You know, like if we can somewhat convince him to stay just for one more year, like we've tried with Sinisterra, hopefully with Jack Harrison, we don't go up, then fine, whatever. Like go, then you can be gone. But if we can go back to the Premier League within the first try, then that risk has been done very well by the 49ers, in my opinion. So, to me, if we can get one more season out of him, just one more season, and we can get back into the Premier League, then it's fantastic. And if he still wants to go, then just leave him. So, but the likes of like Voba, because I don't know, Aronson, Voba, Rocker, who else has gone out on loan? I can't remember.
I don't even
six,
know.
Like Diego Llorente is another one. Christensen. Yeah. I don't think all these players are going to be welcome back to Ellen Road. No. I can't see it because, I mean, it's like with Aronson wanting to leave, even though the 49ers wanted him to stay, and wanted to be a big part of the Championship season, and he still wanted to be playing in the Champions League or whatever. I want him gone. Voba as well, like coming to Leeds United for just 6 months. Want him gone. And this is the argument that I was saying to someone at work. To me, I think it's stupid because these are the players who were responsible, weren't they, for getting us relegated? So for them to come out and pretty much say that they're, in a sense, bigger than the club, bigger than the championship, this and that, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stubbornness, and you look at players like Liam Cooper, the players that actually want to stay. You saw on the last day the emotion that the players actually show. I mean, it really it shows the players that care, and it divides the players completely. Who really is passionate and who isn't.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's your thoughts on the old guard? Like, would you keep them or would you want to get rid of them?
Probably get rid of them. I mean,
you reckon?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. If we get up in this next season, I don't want to see old faces. I want to see new faces, new exciting players. They're actually going to try and get us up in the Premier League table, like where we were.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree on you on that one. I mean, there is a few players that I wouldn't mind keeping. Like, you can disagree with me if you want, but I like Liam Cooper. I do like Luke Ayling. I think when it comes to Patrick Bamford, I think we've got this like sentimental thing with him because obviously what he did in the Championship and then obviously what he did in the first season under Bielsa. But I think his time's becoming more to an end now, don't you think? With his injury, it's not looking good for him now. But in my opinion, I think Cooper. This is what I'm going to ask you actually. I think Cooper should stay. And what's your thoughts about the link away to Saudi Arabia? Like after everything that he said about the players at the end of the season, like what's your thoughts on him being linked? Do you reckon he'll move or do you reckon he'll stay?
Honestly, I do think he will stay. I really don't see. I mean, I could be completely jinxing this, but I really do see him staying. I don't think he'll leave, at least for another year. I think, hopefully, anyway.
I mean, he must have been at the club now for at least 7 years. I would have thought.
Oh yeah, he's been a saint to the club. He's been an absolute saint to the club. It's really up to him if he wants to go now. It won't be hard feelings for any Leeds fans because of the leadership qualities that he shows and stuff like that. But yeah, I won't be too bothered because I think we do have quite a few defensive options now. Charlie Cresswell, Ethan Ampadu. So yeah.
Would you play Ethan in centre back or would you just keep him in midfield? I mean, I know he said that he wouldn't mind playing in centre back, but would you want to see that or would you rather him continue playing in midfield?
Well, I mean, he's very versatile, isn't he? So it's really as the season progresses to show where he shines. Really, I mean, if he's better in either or, then I'm happy. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see Cresswell. I mean, he played well next to Cooper. So this is the thing as well. It's like, where does Struijk fit in? Where do you think Struijk's going to fit in? Because if Cresswell and Cooper are going to be the main two defenders, are we going to be playing him at left back if we decide not to go and get Sam Byram, or is he just going to be a bench warmer?
I mean, this is probably one of the hardest players to actually kind of make a decision of. I really don't see where he fits in with Hjelde and in that back line with Hjelde, Charlie Cresswell, maybe Cody Grammer, Luke Ayling. I really don't see it, to be honest, but it's really up for debate.
Yeah, I mean, there was links, weren't there? I mean, he came out and said that he wanted to stay until, was it 2027? And he wanted to see his contract out in a couple of years. But then a few days later, I don't know if anything's come about it yet because it's gone quite quiet. But I thought, was it Club Bruges that came in for him or was interested in signing him? So money talks, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we'll see leading up in these next couple of days whether loyalty is over money, really, with some of these players. So, I mean, right now, I think Liam Cooper, I don't know, because if the Saudi clubs are offering good money, then he really doesn't turn that down. He doesn't. despite the loyalty. I don't think so.
I mean, it'd be a bit of a hypocritical move, wouldn't it? If at the end of the Tottenham game and this whole like quote thing, it blew up on social media, and then for him to turn around and go, "All right, I'm leaving the club now," it'd be such a hypocritical move, wouldn't it? He'd get so much stick from the Leeds fans.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think players have done that before. I think Wolber's even shown that he's willing to stay. Then a couple of days later, he goes out on loan to Gladbach or I don't know. But I think it really does just show money is completely over loyalty at this moment in time. So if Tyler Adams is to go, just get him for a good sum of money and then continue in the season, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we was to sell Tyler Adams, I think it would be okay because there is obviously a lot of links with Camara, and then obviously Hamer could be an option, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. And then a few other players who we could possibly get, and we could get like 2-3 players for that money. So that would help with the depth. But at the same time, I don't know how much the 49ers are going to be willing to invest. I mean, there's so many rumors and speculations of players who we're linked with, but we don't know 100% if we're linked with these players because of how quiet the 49ers are. Because like we didn't know, Ethan Ampadu was never linked to the club, and then all of a sudden, a couple of days later, after
very quiet.
said that exactly, yeah. So we just don't know what's happening. But personally, I don't think, exactly. I don't think Leeds United are going to sell Cooper. I think he's always going to be around for so long. And maybe in a couple of years when his contract's done, maybe he'll want to move on, try and get like some extra bit of money or just play in America football. But I can't see him leaving Leeds United anytime soon. Maybe next season he could be more of a bench warmer. But I personally don't think he's gonna leave. And as well, any possible transfers, and this is what we're going to talk about. There isn't really that many transfers to really go about and talk about because we all know what's happening with Perot. That's a hit and miss. But Swansea don't want him to go, but then they're open to sell him if the right offer comes in. Hamer's, for some reason, his name's come about again, and as well this one. I don't know how old this one is, but I saw it a couple of days ago. Firpo was linked to Real Sociedad. I don't know if that was a loan move or whether that was going to be a permanent decision. But now they've gone out and they've come out and said that they don't want to sign him. So whether we're going to keep Junior Firpo for this season, I don't know. But would you get rid of
him? I mean, I don't know. It's another one that it's pretty uncertain because I think he's all right actually. I do like Firpo. I've backed him quite a lot actually, even when he was quite poor. But he had little stints last season here and there. But maybe try him out. I don't know, him and maybe Yelder. See, it's competition really. Maybe them two try and battle it out for the position, which might be quite good actually. But yeah, I say try him right now. I think keep.
I think the Championship would do quite well. Dirty Leeds says, I still think Pro will come here, but one of our big hitters will have to leave first with the FFP rules. And and this is what we said. If you've only recently just joined, go back to the beginning because you'll be able to understand what we've been going on about, and then you'll be able to like follow up and catch up on everything that we spoke about. But yeah, I completely agree with the FFP rules. It's quite difficult because with the amount of players that we do have going forward, I think we've got like 6 or 7 wingers at the club. So are we going to be able to sell one of these players like Willie Gnonto? Somerville's also been linked away again to a couple of teams in Europe. Crystal Palace is stepping up their interest in signing Somerville again. So £15 million for Somerville, would that be a good figure for you?
Oh yeah, I think 15 million is you're very happy with 15 million for Somerville. If that's how much people are linking Gnonto for, then I think I'd be very happy with that. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I know they're looking for a replacement for Zaha because obviously he went to Galatasaray, didn't he? But I don't know. it's all up in the air, isn't it? These transfer speculations, and we don't really understand. Like, not many journalists will come out and give us the green light on players who are going to come in and who are going to come out. But we're going to have to see. I don't know about Perot though. Like with his comment here, the leader's comment saying about Perot will come here. I don't think that will happen, not unless we do sell a player like you said. Because with Atlanta sniffing around, there's a couple of other decent clubs in Europe are sniffing around the player. Swansea are trying to keep him down to a new contract. Wolves apparently was interested in him after selling Jimenez. So is it the Championship? Does he want to continue playing at the Championship? Because he's played there for a couple of seasons now at Swansea, hasn't really progressed. Or is it now time for him to go back and perform at the highest level? So, I mean, it would be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, if Perot did come to the club, it would be nice, especially get rid of Bamford and have someone like Perot at the club, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it'd be a brilliant signing, but to be honest, I mean, the days just keep getting longer and lower. I don't think we'll sign anyone now, which is it's unfortunate, but I do think we have good squad depth going forward, definitely.
Well, do you think that we're not going to sign anyone at all this window, or do you think we're not going to sign anyone before the Cardiff game? Is that what you're meaning?
Maybe. I mean, there is until September, isn't there? Until it does close, but
when is it? Because I'm a bit confused on when it closes.
September. I don't know. It's sometime in September, and then it opens up later on.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Durley says if Elise goes to Palace, then Somerville's perfect fit for them. It's all about all the dominoes game. Like, I can't even read. Yeah, I heard rumours that he was supposed to be going there, but I'm sure no. Elise wasn't Elise supposed to be going to Man City? Is that what you mean? If Elise goes from Palace. Oh yeah, okay, I read that wrong. Yeah, I'm sure he was linked to Manchester City. And if that is true and he does go to Man City, then yeah, I reckon they will go more in for Somerville because I mean he will give him or Crystal Palace that quality going forward. Like fair enough. Sometimes he overdoes it, but to me, I personally think I rate him. I don't know about you, but I personally rate Somerville. I've always rated him, even in the academy. But yeah, I don't know what your opinion is of Somerville, but Dirty says, Josh, keep the faith, pal. 27 days left in the window.
Yeah, probably, but I see more players going out than him, to be honest. So I don't know.
Well, have you seen Watford? How many players they've sold?
No, to be honest, actually.
About 15 players. I'm sure it's around about 15 players.
15.
I'm sure of it. There was a massive, massive amount of players that they sold. I mean, they brought in more loan and free transfers, but I'm sure it was 15 players. Same with Stoke. They had a massive clear out and then brought loads of players in. So, I don't know. I mean, if we can bring in maybe a couple more players, I think Leeds United in the Championship will be okay. I think we've got a lot of depth for Premier League depth, especially going forward. And with Daniel Farke, like you said at the start, he's had a lot of experience. He's won the league a couple of times, and I think we'll be okay. I don't know. I'm going to go into a little bit more in the end because obviously I want to know where you think we're going to finish and your prediction and stuff like that. But when it comes to like the injury news, are you worried when it comes to Bamford, Rutter, Mateus Joseph, Firpo, Greenwood, and Cody Drameh all out injured?
I didn't even know there were that many out injured. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I mean,
Bamford's hamstring. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, go on. Sorry. No, it's fine. You go.
Bamford's hamstring injury could be up until the international break, which could be. It's usually start of October, isn't it? Around about that time. Rutter's out for 5 or 6 weeks. Mateus Joseph obviously was recently spotted on crutches. Firpo's out for a few more months. Greenwood's out. Don't know how long. And Cody Drameh as well. He should be back by sometime in end of September. So. We're losing a few players, more so when it comes to the attacking third. But is that a worrying sign for you or not?
I mean, I think some of them that you mentioned, Cody Drameh, Mateo Joseph, Rutter is. I really did want him to start in one of these first games, but it's unfortunate, really. I mean, if Cody Drameh comes back after his injury and replaces Luke Ayling, then I mean, it's a different story. I think he will shine this year, really. He did brilliant for Luton last year. So I think he could really... He's another one that I'm really looking forward to seeing at some point.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just don't understand why managers wasn't playing Cody Drameh. Maybe it was because he had lack of experience. Maybe they didn't really have that belief in him at the start. But when he went to Cardiff and got Player of the Season within 6 months, and then went to Luton, got him promoted, or helped him get promoted, So I think he deserved the chance. I think Luke Keeling's going to get more of a shout, due to obviously because of his injury. But I think with his experience and his, in a sense, leadership and his confidence, and he is okay going forward. He is okay going forward, but I think he's going to get more of an opportunity than Cody Drameh.
Yeah, I mean, some of these pre-season games, he was absolutely brilliant. You could see him just flying forwards. He was brilliant against, I don't know which one it was now. It might have been Forest and Monaco. I don't know. He brilliant, though. You see him just whizzing up the side, and it's brilliant. He's playing like that. That's where he shines, to be honest. Going up the pitch rather than staying back. Definitely better attacking.
100%. Yeah, he's got a lot of potential, hasn't
he? Yeah.
100%. Kevin, I don't know who you're talking to. Are you talking to me or are you talking to Josh? This isn't my first live stream. I've maybe done about 4 or 5. It's my first live stream doing like this with somebody else. But this is Josh's first time being on the channel. But for me, I think it's like four times. But guys, it's been 41 minutes. So if you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. So Josh, and obviously subscribe to the channel too. Before we end the video, where do you think we're going to finish? What's your prediction for the season?
Second, definitely. What did you say?
Yeah?
Sorry,
I said
second, definitely. I mean, I think Leicester probably first. It's just so much squad depth, to be honest. I think even players like Jamie Vardy, they're aging on a little bit. He's still gonna bag goals, I think, in Championship. They've brought in some really good players. I do like Connor Cody, actually, and I like the Harry Winks signing, which is some decent signings as well. But I think it'll be Leicester then Leeds. I think we will avoid the playoffs. Hopefully, I say that hopefully.
I mean, I can agree with you when it comes to like the depth of some of the squads, but I think I want to be optimistic, and I'm never negative. I always try to look on the positive side. I always try to balance it out. So if there's a negative, I'll always try and balance it with a positive. I still think, like, in my opinion, we're going to finish 4th. Like, some people may think, okay, well, that's a negative thought. But to me, I feel like it would be a very progressive season. And with Daniel Farke, it took him 2 years to get Norwich City promoted. He finished I'm sure he finished mid-table in his first season. I mean, I don't think a lot of Leeds fans would be very happy. I think they'd want him sacked if we was to finish 13th with the players that we do have and the quality that Daniel brings to Leeds United. But I think we finished 4th because I think with Middlesbrough doing so well under Michael Carrick, I think they're going to do very well. Ipswich Town, they dominated League One, didn't they?
That is a shout, to be honest. Yeah,
it's what I mean. Very good. They're a good side. Coventry City, Sunderland,
yeah.
Southampton, Leicester. It's going to be very difficult to see. Birmingham City, they've recently been taken over by
even Stoke. I think Stoke have got some really decent players.
And Alex Neil's a decent manager as well, isn't he?
Definitely. I mean, I really do rate Stoke as a club as well. I think they will have a bad season, to be honest. I actually think Huddersfield will have a decent season.
Do you reckon?
More decent season than before, I think. If they're finishing maybe below, in the 15th, 10th to 15th, I think they're very happy with that at this moment. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We've got a Cardiff City fan here. I'll be there on Sunday. Score predictions. Josh, what did you say? It was like 3-0, wasn't it?
3-0, I think. But you know, I got 3-1, 3-1 just for the Cardiff fans. So it gets to go on.
And I said Leeds to win 2-1. So what's your name? Dareen. So yeah, me and Josh have voted that Leeds are going to bring up the 3 points. So what's your prediction? Like, put it in the comments below. What's your prediction of the Leeds game? Dirty Leeds, lads, have we know from many years in the Championship, it's a tough division to get out of and won't be easy. Exactly. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and discriminate the Championship at all, because that's not how I see the Championship, because I personally think the Championship is one of the hardest leagues to get out of, and it's very competitive. And this year is going to be so difficult with the amount of big teams and good quality players coming to the Championship, for the likes of 8 million, 7 million, 10 million pound players coming down from the Premier League or different countries to the Championship. Beforehand, that wasn't really heard of. Many years ago, a few years ago, when Leeds United were buying like Luke Murphy and for like £1 million while we was in League One going into the Championship, £7 or £8 million is more of an old Premier League valuation, and it still is. You can get some decent quality, like Ethan Ampadu. He's too good to be in the Championship, in my opinion, especially with how he played in the pre-season. If he can play like that all year round, it's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, it could be. It's going to be competitive, but at the same time, I mean, I think, I don't know, towards Christmas, I think we'll see who's challenging promotion and who's going to drop off. I mean, I think there's about 10, 11 teams in this season that are really going to be challenging for playoffs this year. There really is. It is going to be competitive, but I put faith in it. I think we will do well as well.
Yeah, I think we'll do well. I think we'll definitely finish in the playoffs. But Dareen said, confident with your strikers out now. Before that coming out, I would have said 3-1 to Leeds. Now I'm saying 2-2. I mean, 2-2 would be a decent draw for you with where you finished, I reckon, because obviously you finished 21st, just outside of the relegation zone. But I think it would be, even if Leeds get a draw, I mean, Cardiff, our Leeds' bug team. I wrote a stat actually in the last previous, was it 20 odd games or 30
Oh
games?
yeah, very buggy team.
Yeah,
Definitely.
14 games they'd beaten us, and we'd only won 4. Obviously, the recent one was the 5-2 thrashing in the FA Cup, but 14 games out of, and Leeds have only won 4. So it's on paper, Cardiff are more likely to win, but we, in a sense, have a stronger side. So if we can play similar football to what we did against you in the FA Cup, then I'm hoping we can give you a bit of a dicking. So
yeah, I don't. Anyway, the pre-season, I think we did really well against the big teams. Monaco, I think we did actually quite well against. Even though, I mean, the Volland goal, it's unsavable. It really is. But I think we did really well against the big teams. Against Forest as well, we did really well. So I'm not really too bothered, to be honest. We'll just have to see as it goes. Really, that's how it's going to go.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, guys, this has just been a quick stream. I hope you've liked the stream. It's the first time that I've had someone on the channel. So if you did like the video and you do want to see more of maybe Josh or maybe more people in the future, make sure you like the video as well. And don't forget, the more likes we do get on the video, the more opportunity you'll be able to win a beautiful, beautiful Leeds United shirt. So make sure you subscribe to the channel too if you're not new. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.